All right, everybody. 2020 is officially over. Today's New Year's Eve. We can all take a deep breath. I know this year has been absolutely terrible for damn near everyone. I mean, there's good times, don't get me wrong. I don't want to go into this video being pessimistic and telling everybody how shitty their year was, but I think we can all agree that this year was pretty rough. So I figured the best way to enter 2021 on this channel was to talk about goals and New Year's resolutions and that kind of stuff. I think it's really easy to go into the new year and set a lot of unrealistic goals or just like kind of hype yourself up, but then not really follow through. I think for the past 3 years, I've told myself that I was going to start working out or I was going to start being more active. And sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't, but it definitely never lasted the whole year. I definitely am not like some sort of macho bodybuilder. And, I'm definitely not any more or less fit than I was 2 or 3 years ago. Like I said, I basically say this every year. So I kind of wanted to talk about setting like realistic goals or even small goals. Like, especially with the year that we've had, I think it's really easy to get into a rut or not necessarily a depressive state, but it's really easy to sit around and lounge around and watch Netflix because you're stuck inside. You're not supposed to be really going out. You're not really supposed to be out and around people. And there's a ton of stuff closed. So like even if you were kind of like a fitness kind of person, I know gyms have been closed. Even if you're the kind of person that likes maybe sporting events and stuff, I know getting into a league and playing like on a team or something might be tough. So I kind of wanted to just talk about setting really short, realistic goals that can kind of just boost your momentum, and then you kind of go from there. Like I said, I think going into the new year, it's really easy to be like, oh, I'm gonna work out every day for an hour, when that's not really like realistic. Nobody is really gonna do that. Even the people that are on a pretty tight workout schedule, I feel, don't even work out every single day. They have rest days and stuff, or even if you're like, oh, I'm not gonna drink a single pop all year. There's gonna be a really tough day that you have at work or school or whatever the case might be, and you're gonna need to indulge yourself a little bit. Have a pop or a beer or whatever. Again, whatever the case might be. But I think it's better to put these goals into more realistic terms. Maybe instead of an everyday or never for the entire year, just go during the weekdays. Maybe go Monday through Friday, but then Saturday and Sunday, you indulge yourself a little bit. Like I said, you enjoy the sweets or the sugars or the caffeine or whatever you're trying to do better. If you're working out, instead of doing an hour every single day, just do it for 20 minutes or even just 5 minutes of stretching if that's what it needs to be. And like I said, you can go further. Like, don't set yourself short. Don't just do 5 minutes of stretching every day. Because I think that's another big part of it is bettering yourself. I know for a fact, me during the quarantine, I really got in the habit of just getting into a routine. I wake up, I work, I play video games when I get off work. And there's nothing wrong with that. I saved money, I paid off some of my student debt, and I'm really happy with where I'm at right now. Going into 2021. But that's not to say that I could have spent my quarantine, doing better and being more productive. But I think going into 2021, personally, my goal is going to be to learn something. I don't know if it's going to be a language or if it's going to be like a trade or a skill set. But I want to better myself in that sense. I know I don't like working out, and like I said, I've said that every year basically that I'm going to start working out, and I know that's probably not going to happen. Maybe when it gets nicer outside. Like I said, I think a lot of people forget that you can set these goals more than just on New Year's Day, and you can also increase or decrease whatever goal you set for yourself throughout the year. It doesn't need to stay the same. It's probably not going to stay the same. I mean, if you do work out every single day, eventually you're probably going to have to work out more or do more weights or something because whatever you are doing is going to end up being easy for you. So like I said, I'm going to try and learn something. I think I want to try and learn more editing. I also want to maybe try and learn a language, but I want to try and convince my friends to also do that, because I think learning a language is kind of hard by yourself. But like I said, I kind of just wanted to talk about setting realistic goals and going into 2021, trying to better ourselves. Like I said, 2020 was tough, and the quarantine and all that is definitely not over. I don't think it's gonna be over for probably another 5 to 6 months. I know a lot of people are very optimistic with the vaccine coming out and all of that good stuff, but I think until it's said and done, it's going to continue to be a thing, especially here in America where people aren't fans of the vaccine, or we still aren't following proper social distancing and quarantine protocol. So I want to try and use, like I said, I want to try and go into 2021 and kind of use my free time better. I want to try and drink less and party less. I want to try to use that free time more to, like I said, learn maybe editing or a language or something like that. Personally, I'm going to go into it from a content creator's mindset and try to upload every single day, because I do want to practice editing. And with that being said, though, I don't want to get in the habit of just half-assing my edits. Like I said, it's not going to do you any good to set a goal and then not kind of go into it full force. Like, you set a goal to be more active, but all you're doing every day is just stretching for 5 minutes. There's nothing wrong with that, and that's better than sitting on your ass and being lazy. But at the same time, if you do, say you stretch for 5 minutes for an entire month, eventually you should bump that 5 minutes up to maybe 10 or even 20. Eventually the stretches are going to become a normal process. And so, from my perspective with editing, I don't want to go in and just only make cuts and audio adjustments. I wanted to learn how to really edit, and I want to start putting like real effort into it, adding memes, adding music, adding zooms, and it's stuff that I probably don't even know it goes into editing. I think masking is a term. I don't even know. So I think I might try and do that personally. And I hope that maybe this video kind of motivates somebody else to hop on that trend. Like I said, if you drink a lot of pop, maybe try to go Monday through Friday without drinking pop. If you spend a lot of money on fast food, same thing. Maybe try to only eat fast food once or twice a month, or maybe once during the weekend, or something like that. And try to cook at home, or learn how to cook at home even. There's a ton of ways to go into it, and I think, like I said, everybody gets really caught up on the big picture, doing it all 365 days, going all out, and it doesn't need to be like that. And on the flip side of that, I think people get overwhelmed by that point of view as well. I think it's really easy to look at the people that do work out 365 days a year and be like, oh, I could never do that. But in reality, you probably could. Maybe not 365 days a year, but there's nothing stopping you from, like I said, stretching, doing push-ups throughout the day. You don't have to be a bodybuilder bench pressing 250 pounds 3 times a week to be active and better yourself physically and mentally. And it doesn't have to be working out. I think that's just the most cliche example. Obviously, you can do yoga, you can stretch, you can read. Like, that's another thing I want to try and get back into. I want to try and read before I go to bed. I want to try and read for like 20 or 30 minutes. Just like really small things. I think that, like I said, the majority of people get really caught up in going super big and super beyond the expectations for themselves when it comes to New Year's resolutions. So keep it simple. Start simple, for a month or two, and then, like I said, build yourself up. I'm gonna go back to working out. Like, do 5 push-ups during the week, not on the weekends, for a month, and then that second month maybe bump it up to 6 or 7, or whatever the case might be. And by the end of the year, you'll find yourself feeling better. Like I said, it doesn't have to be working out. That's usually the most cliche example. If it's reading or yoga, maybe you read a chapter every night for a month, and then the second month you read 2 chapters, and then all of a sudden you're reading all kinds of books, and again, you're bettering yourself. So That's what I kind of wanted to start off the year with. Just, that's kind of what's been on my mind going into the new year is how I can make myself better and actually stick to it. If you guys have anything you guys want me to respond to in the next one, you can leave it in the comments. If not, I'll find another topic that kind of sticks out to me and go from there. So thanks, you guys. See ya.